Hey, everybody. I am Stacy Thomas. I am your new host for Swagher. I am a media personality for Swagher. I am very excited. And I am even more excited because I was sent a bio over about this person, this beautiful sister called Danielle. And I'm like, who is this woman? Hey, Danielle, how are you?
Hi, I am doing well. Thank you so much.
Oh, sweetheart, thank you for coming on. You know what? If someone read your bio, I'm only going to say if they read the first part of your bio. Someone will be saying, who is she? Why haven't I heard about her? And let me follow her. Okay.
Okay.
so,
Yes. Yes.
so let's you're in the media. Danielle, you've been described as a dynamic force in the business, media and communications. That's a lot of hats.
It's
And
so
we
many hats. You hit it spot on. It's so many hats.
so many hats. And when you think about that, tell me, who is Danielle at the core?
At my core, Danielle is a woman of God. She is a woman of faith who, at a young age, surrendered her life to God and has allowed Him to just guide and lead the way. And so, I'm a servant leader, and I'm a woman, like you said, of many gifts, of many talents, and yeah, at the end of the day, the things that I have been able to do in my business and in my career, it's just a manifestation and an offset of who I am at my core, which is a creative woman of faith who loves God.
Ooh, somebody that knows the purpose that God gave her and she's walking her path.
Ex- exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
Let's say
So
walking his path, okay?
walking in his path, not your path.
Yep.
Oh, sweetheart, I am loving it. Take us back a moment, okay? Some people don't know their purpose. Some people don't know what to do.
Yeah.
What pulled you into media and communications, and how did this passion evolve into what you're doing today?
That's a beautiful story. So I actually started out as a theater artist and dancer. And at a young age, I first started learning African dance. And from African dance, I was introduced to ballet, modern jazz dance. And I poured all my passion and my energy and my gifts into performance arts. And that's what I did from the age of, I would say, 5 all the way through college. So I danced, and it was in high school where I began to take a lot of leadership positions because as artists, we have to also produce a show and produce an event. So we can put our art on display and have an audience come and see you do your thing. And so at in high school, I began to not only just perform on stage, I used to do choreography and lead the dance teams and things of that sort, but I also began to do production and learn how to market the show, learn how to sell tickets, learn how to monetize our art at a very young age. And so I began to pick up the business administration side of things, and that's literally where it got started. I went to college at Spelman College, and my freshman year, I auditioned for every single dance team I had the opportunity to audition. I got on every single dance team that I auditioned for, and I danced through college as well. And I was in the Morehouse College marching band, and I danced for Morehouse College football team. And I began to obviously be seen and noticed because I was, again, on display at school, entertaining my peers, performing at all the school functions and performing at the football games and the basketball games. And I joined a promotions team. So, party promoting. And
Okay.
with some peers of mine who were like upperclassmen, they had like this party promotion company and they would throw college parties. And they were like, hey, you should like join our company, because they noticed that I had some influence on campus. And they're like, oh, we should get Jeter on our team. She could probably promote the parties and get people to come out. And they were right. And I just thought it was such a brilliant idea because I'm like, oh, hey, like I can get paid to party. I don't have to pay to come to the events, and I can bring my girls. Like, okay, this sounds like a good idea. And I began to, again, develop more leadership skills. I learned more about entrepreneurship, more about business, and that led me into event production.
Wow. So I have to ask this, right? Because at the beginning, when you were telling everything you were doing, sounds like you were very serious, very confident, and into what it was that you knew you were going to pursue, right? I was going to
Right.
say, Danielle, did you go out? Did you have fun with your friends? So then you started having fun, right?
I did
So,
start having fun.
so in the midst of all of this, Danielle, I mean, number one, where did the confidence come from?
I don't think I had a choice. Growing up as the youngest of four boys and the only girl, my brothers were tough on me. You know, they were not sweet on me at all. So I had to hold my own around those boys because they didn't have no problem ganging up on me. Like the youngest, they would really like to like crack a lot of jokes and stuff like that. So I had to grow up with thick skin. And I think,
Wow.
that, but then also just, I feel as if all young girls should have an experience dancing. I think every young girl should be put in dance lessons because it does help to polish your confidence because you have to be able to perform in front of people. And so that's what we practice towards every single time we're in rehearsal. It's like you are rehearsing these steps over and over in it so you can get out there in front of a group of people and really shine and show people what you got. You cannot be shy as a performance artist. You will never make it. You will not ever make it. So a part of that really helped me too.
Wow. Now, Danielle, I got to say this. When you said every girl should take dancing, Danielle, I think when God was giving out rhythm, Stacy was somewhere talking. Danielle, they would have put me out the dance class.
You don't think you could have picked it up? You don't think it could be taught and like learned? No.
Danielle, everything can't be taught. I'm sorry. So we see that you just have been like confident and on top of your game, right? So building your legacy in business. Now we're going to get to the good stuff, right? First, I would have said, how did she do all this? But now I see you've shared the stage with Master P, Angela Yee, Sonia Sanchez, and David Shands. Now, obviously, you don't need nobody to boost your confidence. You already got what you need. But was there a defining moment when you realized this is bigger than me? This is my purpose?
That's a really great question. I think about we did the Women in Media conference and we've done about 7 of those conferences, and it was around like year 4 or 5 where the women began to ask for more, because we started out as just an annual once a year Women in Media global conference.
Okay.
But they started voicing and saying, hey, we want to get together more than just this one time a year, because we would do the conference and everybody would go back to their lives and then we would come back out. And so that's when I began to realize, like, we are on to something. They want more of what it is that we are creating in this community. And that's when I realized that we were catching on to something much bigger than I had even imagine. I didn't imagine it being a business on its own. I was happy with doing this conference, but they were requesting that we go deeper.
Wow. And in meeting all these people and all these opportunities coming at you, did you ever feel too small?
That's a
Ever?
great question.
Ever?
I sometimes have felt as if I was overlooked. Yeah, I've definitely have had that feeling because I work extremely hard, like for being in business for 16 years and going after it. In your mind, you would think that you would be at a different place or that you would be more along than what you are. And it's just a journey, And so I've definitely felt that way because, when you are a big visionary and you have desires to do things on a massive level, you have to put yourself out there. So I'm constantly continuing to maybe even pitch for opportunities, put my name out there in the hat, show up, send off my information to people. And when you don't get a response back, or when you don't get selected for an opportunity, it's like, dang, I know that I have the qualities and the skill set to execute in this thing, and yet they still haven't booked me.
But so obviously it's not you, it's them that's being too slow about it,
Right. I love that flipping of the perspective. I definitely do.
I'm loving your confidence. I'm thinking you need to come out here and do some speaking engagements. But we'll talk about that later.
You like read my mind. That's been the thing that's been on my heart and on my mind, to do more speaking opportunities. That's exactly what I want to do.
Wow. Yep. So you've produced experiences that people still talk about, right? That means Stacey's going to have to Google you more. What are they saying besides what I already know? Can you share a story of one event or campaign that really captures the essence of AOI's impact?
Wow, there's been so many opportunities over the years. We are very, very good at launching brands. And I have realized that has been a part of our trend. And that is really our niche and our expertise. And I just think it's really, really special when founders come to us with an idea. It might not have launched yet, or they're in the beginning phases of like wanting to launch this thing, and to be able to come alongside that founder and help push that, like birth that vision. I just think it's such an intimate place to be in someone's business journey. And it's a place where they're never going to forget that person who helped them get their first initial start. And we have countless stories like that. Even so, we had such a great opportunity to work with Black Enterprise over several years. And so Black Enterprise, everybody when you are a publicist like we are, and what I do in AOI events and PR, everybody comes with their own PR problem, right? And so we have to come up with strategy to figure out, okay, how can we creatively get this client from point A to point Z, right, to accomplish the goal. And Black Enterprise had a really interesting problem too. They had launched a brand new conference and was having trouble communicating their message to their desired audience, which was millennials. They had launched a millennial business conference, and it came to us like, at first I had went to them and was like, hey, I want to partner with you guys to host an after party. And they were like, oh, that's cute. But we actually need to hire you. Are you available? We really need your help. And I was like, oh, yeah, I can do that.
Really?
So we helped them sell out the conference 2 years in a row. And that was crazy amazing, because we did it in 2 different cities. First, we did it in Philadelphia, and then we did it in Atlanta, and we used the same strategy, and it worked in both cities. And so that was very special to me, because one, it's a legacy Black owned media company. They're a company I look up to as I'm building my own media company and women in media, and to be able to help them birth a new thing, even at that age and even at their level of expertise. I just thought it was really, really special to be able to now have that in my portfolio and to really deliver for them. And to now, have a name amongst that company as the person who can get the job done.
You're just loving what you're doing, aren't you?
I love it. It's a new challenge every day. It's a new challenge every day.
How do I say this? So exactly, who's the target? Who's the audience? Who should come to you for assistance in PR?
That's a great question. I literally have created products and services for all types of sized businesses. So we have mentorship and coaching programs for startup businesses and those who are in the growth phase. These are young businesses who are just figuring it out. We have opportunities to work with them in our mentorship programs. Then we have small business public relations and visibility packages. And those are for those businesses who have revenue, who have something going. They have products, they have services. Now they need to increase their credibility and their notoriety, and they want to get their products and they want to get their name out there. They want to brand something. So we have that for small businesses. And then we have opportunities to work with enterprises and corporations. And these are people who, they can't figure out those people cannot figure out how to communicate with the everyday people.
Right.
Corporate executives, they have a very interesting problem too, because they have all the resources. They just don't know how to communicate down to the niche target audience in these local markets. And that's we help them do that as well. So I have creatively over the years figured out how to work with everybody, politicians as well. You have these great political scientists and they don't have brands at all, but they want to win an election. They are some of the confident people, because they'll come out of nowhere and be like, I'm going to run for president, and they have 200 followers on Instagram, and out of nowhere, boom, they become the mayor next year. These people are really, really confident. So we have been able to work on tons of political campaigns, and we have gotten a lot of young Black people elected into office and have raised a lot of money for young Black electeds in the state of Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. Wow. So along AOI, you founded Women in Media Global, which has become a powerful platform. What was the vision behind this, and how has it evolved since it started?
That's a great question. So our mission is to empower, equip, and encourage women to own their voice. And we got started because I attended a film screening many years. This was 12, 13 years ago at this point. I had just graduated from Spelman College. I went back home to my hometown, Philadelphia, and I was, hanging out with the creatives and the artists, and because that's who I am. And I was very disappointed when I saw this film screening, because it was a story about Philadelphia's art scene and the creatives and the performance artists from our city, current, but it did not have any women represented. Only one woman was represented in the film. And I was like, my face just turned up, and I said, am I the only person who realized was missing in this picture? I'm not sure if anybody else in that room realized it. Clearly the producers did, and they had a whole party celebrating the film. And it just signified something for me. I said, if this is happening right here in these close networks, that means there's something bigger happening. So this was like 4 years before Me Too. We were simmering up to Me Too. And I began to do my own research in the industry. I have a degree in history, so I study. I'm a historian. I like study. I'm a study person. So I began to interview women and study and find out what's happening. And I started collecting my personal stories. And exactly what came out in Me Too was exactly what I had learned 4 years earlier. All of the discrimination and the lack of representation for women in the industry of media and entertainment. And I said, wow, we have to do something to remind women to own their voice. There is a missing narrative happening. I want to be a part of empowering these women. And so we went to, I called a couple of other colleagues in the industry, my best friend, Kendra James, who's at the African American Chamber of Commerce in Pennsylvania, and a few other colleagues. And we collaborated, and we hosted a half-day conference called Women in Media at Temple University. Got a bunch of sponsors together, a bunch of women executives who are in the media and entertainment industry, and we hosted panels, and we did the event. We did it free, and I did 7 of those. And alongside building those conferences, I also launched a radio show. We used to be live on the FM dial in Philadelphia, called WIM Speaks Radio. Okay. And this is before podcasting was popular. So we were on the FM dial. And so that helped to transform our mission too, because it gave us an avenue to tell the stories and to stay current when we wasn't conferencing. And we began to do wellness programming because they began to bring up the fact that burnout is a really big issue in the entertainment and media industry. So we wanted to empower women to be fit, talk about their well-being and their mental health. So we did wellness programming, and we used to do monthly programming, monthly industry mixers. Then it turned into the podcast. We've done education sponsored scholarships for students who are pursuing careers and education in media. So it has really metamorphed into an entire nonprofit organization.
If an older person was talking to you or talking about you, they say Danielle acts as if she's been on this earth before. You're doing a lot. I love it. I love it. I
I
love it.
know everybody's like, oh my gosh, you have so much going on. But I'd be like, yo, I'm not that busy. But I don't know.
It sounds like it. Danielle, women in media still face unique challenges. What barriers are you seeing most often, and how is WIM Global actively shifting that narrative for them?
I think nowadays, one of the biggest barriers is women being able to fund their projects and getting access to funding to actually scale companies.
Okay.
It's a twofold situation. One is it's such a dynamic situation because if you want to get to the place where your business is funded, a part of it is personal finances as well. So
Yeah.
you have to have your personal finances in order. You have to have the financial literacy. So being literate and then having your paperwork in order to then also go after funding sources if there is grants involved, if there is contracts involved. And so I think that's one of the biggest challenges. One, being financial literate, and two, knowing how to go after the dollars and to get those dollars to grow these projects beyond something that is just a startup phase.
And how does it help me to come to Danielle if I'm facing those challenges?
So with us, we do have our show called the WIM Speaks Show. It is a
Okay.
podcast, and we bring on a lot of financial professionals who give out information and literally are teaching how to combat that issue. And so we just, we're amplifying the information and galvanizing the experts and literally putting them in front of you. And so when we launch our membership coming up any day now,
Okay.
you'll have access, depending on your level of membership with Women in Media, you'll get access to coaching. And financial literacy is going to be a huge component of it because those tend to be the episodes on our podcast that do the best. And it has signified that women in the industry are very hungry to learn how to fix this and be able to implement it better in their business.
Wow. So with everything that you've gone through, we're not even going to ask about what we think the greatness lies ahead right now. We're going to concentrate on what you've done. Has there ever been a transformational moment where you just thought, this is why I do what I do?
Yes. So sometimes, I'm in a very unique place because I'm working behind brands, but I also am in front of the camera at times, right? So I have both skill sets. And a lot of times when you're working behind brands and you're doing PR and brand strategy, it could be a very thankless job. And it could be a very like blame you job, And so
Okay.
everybody always want to point the finger, and it's
Right.
just, I'm very, very, very serious about educating my people as we go along this process, because I understand, one, how much of an investment it is to do PR services and marketing services, and two, you more than likely you don't even know the extent of what PR is, right? Because it's a very specialized skill set. But I remember there is a beautiful young lady. Her name is Ashley Fox. And Ashley has a company called Empathy. She is on the Inc. 500 list, Inc. 5000 list. She is award winning. She's somebody that should be on the show. And I helped Ashley launch that brand. Ashley is a huge phenomenon now, but people don't know that Ashley started at a place where she doubted herself, and she came in my office. She was so nervous. She was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but everybody told me I need to talk to you. So what we need to talk about and what can you do for me? And just to see her grow into such a confident person. But I say all that to say, y'all definitely have to check out Ashley Fox of Empathy. Last year during InvestFest in Atlanta, she had this celebration for her company. Now she's a multi-million-dollar business. When I met her, she was just launching. She didn't have any money. She had just got fired off New York Wall Street and lost her apartment. She was like losing money. Now she's seven figures. And so she had a moment at this really nice hotel, really fancy open bar party to celebrate her making the Inc. 5000 list. And she invited me to that event. And when I walked into the event, she had a lot of different just marketing and things blown up. And she had this huge blow up of this newspaper article. I got her on the cover of the newspaper in Philadelphia as her PR. And it was blown up in the middle of the party. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's my work from like 9-10 years ago. Wow. And when she went up there to address the audience and she told her story, she began telling her story about the people who helped her along the way to get to where she is. And she mentioned my name and she thanked me and she talked about how I advocated and amplified so many of the young millennial voices back in the day in Philadelphia when nobody was telling their stories. And so a lot of times, you know, I am able to get my roses and people will say, you are the first person who believed in me and let me get an opportunity on your podcast. You are the first person who saw me and got me an article placed in a magazine. You are the first person who sat down with me and helped me build my brand. And so that for me was like, because I was on the verge of like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Like this PR thing. Like I was like, I don't know. But that moment was just like you said, this is why I do what I do, because you leave such an imprint in people's stories, and you never know where these brands are going to go. Right. I believe that any of these brands that I have been able to come into contact with, I believe that there is a $1 billion brand in my reach, that there's somebody around me is going to build a $1 billion brand.
Because Danielle has put her touch on it.
Yes, you know, because it's amazing to see how, and I have so many countless stories like that of many people who are now influencers, but when I met them, they was broke. And they came to me and said, I don't know what I'm doing, but everybody said I need to do it with you. So
I love it.
And they invest, you know, they're like, I don't got that much money, but I'm invested in you. And they invested well. And it's me being able to partner with what they already know, right? They already have the greatness inside of them. I'm just blessed to be able to come alongside them and help them push and like literally birth this vision.
So you said you're the only girl in the family.
Yep.
So when your brothers see you doing what you're doing, you're confident, you're strong, are they taking credit for this? Are they bragging on their sister?
Brothers, they don't pay me no mind. They really don't. They love me, but they're like, she's a glorified party promoter. She's like, they're like, what do you do? They're like, I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about knowing what I do. Just know I'm over here getting it. I'm getting money, and I'm about to be rich. I'm about to be a multimillionaire, and I'm putting my name on. I said, so when the Jeter name become famous, no, it's because of me.
I know that's right. So for the ladies that are watching, or the women that will see this show, what's one piece of advice that you would give to an entrepreneur?
Ladies, it is so direly important that you know your worth, but that you stand on that, and that you have to know what your standard is. You have to have a standard of business and excellence for yourself, because I've seen it so many times where people will try to take advantage, where they will try to walk over you, where they will try to disrespect you. And one day I remember someone asked, what is your superpower? My superpower is my voice. Because baby, you gonna know. I'm gonna let you know, and I'm gonna stand up for myself. I'm gonna advocate for myself. But knowing your worth, advocating for yourself, all of that is self-awareness. So that means that you have to take the time to really get to know you. And that takes stillness. That takes quiet time. That takes you removing yourself from the crowd, from the noise, from the distractions, and being one, and being able to connect with the Holy Spirit, being able to connect with God and allow him to tell you who you are in him and the standard, right? And so when you understand who you are and whose you are and what that standard of business and excellence is for you, then you can decipher where you're going to go. Because I've seen women be pulled way too thin because they're trying to people please or they're trying to be all over the place and do all these things. It's like, is that in alignment with where you are supposed to be right now? Is that in alignment with what the ultimate goal is for you? And so people are impressed with what I've done, but it's because I've built a repertoire, right? I have a portfolio of things that I've consistently done for 16 years. You know, people will say, "Oh, what you doing now?" I'm doing the same thing I was doing when you met me 10 years ago. I run a PR agency and I own women in media. The main thing is still a main thing. So you have to be so confident and so sure in that. And don't be like, oh, 1 year you selling lollipops, and next year you open up a bank. Okay, now you're about to be in the real estate. Okay, but now you do hair. Like, okay, now you a dog walker. Like, what do you do? What do you do? And all of that is self-awareness. You have to be aware.
You're a straight shooter, right? You don't hold anything back. You know,
my voice is my superpower. Y'all you're not gonna ever have to wonder with me. You won't have to wonder.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So as far as media, you're considered a thought leader on entrepreneurship. In your view, how is media shaping the future of business and culture?
Oh, it's everything. It's literally everything. And it's so much fun because it's the driving avenue of how people are now being able to get in front of their audience and ultimately get customers and prospects in their business. So if you are not building a personal brand or some sort of business brand, then you are missing out on being able to communicate with your consumers. And so it's a big part of storytelling. And it's a big part of just traditional marketing in general, media, because everything is digital and it's being driven by media. And media is a $1 billion industry. It's a great space to be, and everybody can find an opportunity here. So it's a top driver. It's definitely a top driver.
Wow. What do you think is the biggest misconception people have about building a brand?
I think they miss out on the actual storytelling element of building a brand. People are sometimes caught up on the visual aspect, which is very important as well. But that's just mechanics. That is, the logo, the colors, the pictures, that's just mechanics. What really connects to human is the story, right? You're connected to me because you read my story on a piece of paper and said, wow. You didn't even have to see my face, and you were connected to me. If I was a faceless brand, if I came on here as a cup, I love that cup, Danielle. Did you hear Danielle's story?
Right.
It's so hot, it will keep my tea hot for 8 hours. I just love that cup, right? You connected to my story. And so that's why you said, hey, you should do some speaking, because the moment that we're able to communicate, at a basic form of having this connection, it touches people. And consumers today are savvy, right? They want to see, feel, touch, experience the brand, which is why brand activations are such a huge phenomenon amongst corporations and things of that sort today.
Wow. When you look at Danielle, you're something else. Give me this week. Danielle, when we think about success, it looks different as we grow, right? But how do you personally define success now compared to the success you have now compared to when you started?
You know what? I would say over the last year, God sat me down and and reminded me of what true success is. And before, I think that like my definition of success was being really influenced by social media, by other very affluent and successful executives and successful business people when it came to like being the biggest brand or having a large community, having a large following. having the wealth to go along with it, having the things. And that's not true success, right? True success is God said that true success is what you do for your purpose and what you do for him, and how other people are impacted by your walk. That is the legacy, right? Because at the end of the day, you guys might see me rolling down the street in this beautiful Rolls Royce and might be like, oh my gosh, she's successful. But what if I get out the car and spit? What if I get out the car and start a fight? What if I get out the car and start, cussing someone out? Am I still successful because I'm driving in this luxury vehicle?
Wow.
Or am I successful because I've reached back and I've helped someone else? I've gotten out of my own way and I've allowed my gifts and my talents to pour into other people and help them fill their cups and help them lead them to a place that is positive. That is success. Is how you help people, how you make them feel, and how you're able to do your part to just make this place make the world a better place.
Danielle, I'm gonna buy a ticket to the event. When you come to Virginia and speak, I'm gonna buy a ticket.
We having an event, y'all, and we're gonna drop the link when we have it.
Danielle, in reading about you, I can tell you've inspired thousands through your platforms and leadership. So when people look back at your journey over the years, when people hear this story that you're telling us tonight, what do you hope your legacy is going to be?
That I wasn't one of the mean girls. That they truly thought that I was an approachable person who would be willing to help them and would be willing to lend an ear to them and make them feel seen and important and heard. That I made them feel a part of my community. I made them feel a part of my piece of the world, of what I'm building and the enterprise that I had, that they felt as if that they could approach us and be a part of us, and they felt safe with us.
Got me speechless. And if you ask anybody that knows me, they're gonna say Stacy's never speechless.
Are you serious, Stacy?
No, I'm a talker. I wear myself out, Danielle.
You are a great interviewer.
You are amazing. You are amazing. And now let's look ahead. I'm excited. I'm going to start following you even more. I'm excited to see what you're going to do.
Yes.
What's next for you, AOI events and PR and the Women in Media Global? What can we expect?
So when it comes to Women in Media Global, we are releasing season 5 of the Women in Media podcast. So you can be on the lookout for that this week. We'll be dropping the first episode. Super excited about where we're going with that. We actually started a new series called Women of Faith. So I'm definitely looking for more women of faith to tell their stories, because I believe that's where God is leading me. And those are the stories that need to be shared on my platform. So I'm excited about that. We are going to be hosting some coffee mixers. Okay. Women in Media is going to have coffee mixers. We want to do them in Miami, Atlanta, and Philadelphia. Those are like my 3 hubs, but we're open to collaboration. So if there's someone listening and they say, hey, bring Women in Media to my city, I would be open to having a conversation about what that looks like. So my email is right here. This is my personal Instagram account right here. So those things are coming up for Women in Media. Did I leave anything out? Women in Media is also a platform where we want to bring other talent onto our platform. So when it comes to emceeing and hosting our shows, whether it is our live events or whether it's our podcast, we want to see a rotating, and we want to see up and coming, aspiring people and talent. So this is not the Danielle show. So if you got something and you want to pitch me and say, hey, I want to host on Women in Media, be my guest. So, we want to be able to open this opportunity up for more women. So that is absolutely coming up for us for Women in Media. When it comes to AOI, oh, thank you, Tawana.
Tawanda, you
Tawana.
notice, Tawanda, you notice Danielle didn't say Virginia, right? Right? We got to go to Atlanta.
Hey guys, if we need to come to Virginia, I'm open. Y'all better get me before I have kids, okay? Right now, I'm free. All right, I'm single, I'm free, so I can get on a flight and we can make it happen. And I would love to meet the women in media in Virginia. So yes, for sure, open-minded to that. When it comes to AOI events and PR, we are always producing PR campaigns. So you're going to see us working with more corporate executives and more corporate Fortune 500 companies. We are also in the market for more marketing and PR clientele. So if there's someone who is tuned in and needs help with marketing campaigns, we do video editing, graphic design, website maintenance, website building. We do ads, and we do traditional like marketing campaigns. And then we do the PR side of things, helping our clients get accolades and awards, putting them on media interviews, TV, radio, podcasts, things of that sort. So we are a one-stop shop, literally, when it comes to increasing your visibility and telling your story. And you could just see us continuing to do what we do and working with more clientele at the various events around our country, and coaching as well. So if there's someone who's interested in authoring a book, if you are interested in learning more about, you need a marketing coach, you need a branding coach, you are in a space where you need to learn and you want to be mentored and you want accountability, then we have our ongoing programs. They are 6 to 8 week programs as well. So it's something here for everybody. We've literally created a menu of options. My team is incredible. They're young, they're hungry, they're hardworking. They're always on my phone, like, what are we working on? What's next? What's next? You know, so they are like 5 steps ahead of me. And so when you get me, you get my team. There's other coaches who work with me in my business who you get access to as well. So I've worked that. I put it together. It's here, y'all. Y'all come eat with us. You know,
you take the words out of my mouth. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The table is meant for the table is meant for 2 or 3 things, right? So when you come to the table, you're either there to feast at the table, you're there to bring something to the table. And then when we're done eating at the table, it's time to get up and now we're full. It's time to go work, right? So when you come to the table, that is exactly what we're doing at my table, okay? We're getting full. We're bringing something to the table. We're filling our cups up, and then we're leaving that table to create more space for other people, and we're going to get busy. So who's coming to eat at this table?
I'm sure. Oh, somebody's coming. Somebody's coming. Yeah. Yes, bigger than a one-stop shop, because I was seeing her saying she got a one-stop shop. And Danielle, I gotta say this. You said I've got good young people. Danielle, you're young yourself. I told you an old soul. You see, sounds like you're an older woman.
You know, I'm not as young as I look.
Okay.
I got good genes.
Good genes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right.
I got a couple gray. You can't see them, but I got a couple gray hairs somewhere.
Listen to me. I said, right. Yeah, good genes. You're young. But Danielle, in closing, if you could speak directly to the next generation of visionaries, they're a little lost. Danielle, they're a little lost. What would you say to those that have dreams, but they're letting society tell them they can't pursue their dreams?
This is such a really interesting time to be in. It's like, it's a blessing and a little bit of a curse at the same time, because the generations before us have really fought and built and innovated in a way to make things easier. But as a result of making things easier, it has also gotten us a little distracted and off, you know. And so I can kind of understand the confusion. And I just want to say, y'all, it ain't y'all's fault. We were trying, you know, the generations are trying to make it better for the next people to come up. But you guys have to use your minds. You have to use your intellect and your God-given abilities to do what you were set here to do. Everybody is here for a purpose. and a reason. You weren't born by accident, and it doesn't matter through what circumstances you came through. The fact that you are here and you were pushed through means that there's a big, big destiny attached to your name. And the biggest thing that you can do for yourself now is to connect to God so that he can tell you what that destiny is and what he wants you to do. That is going to be the most true fulfillment of your entire life. And once you're able to connect to that purpose and God is able to put you on a path, what he has in store for you is going to be bigger than anything you could have ever imagined. If you see behind me, there's a figurine of a dancer.
Right.
I thought that I was going to be a dancer, and I was a dancer, but then God had way bigger plans for me. I was even honored with the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. Who knew? I didn't aspire to be award winning, but God had bigger plans for me. But because I followed the path that he laid out for me, he will never steer you wrong. That is the direction that you need. So while there's people with good and kind hearts and they have good intentions online, that can't be your voice. That can't be your guiding force. You have to understand and learn your own voice. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you connect to the ultimate source so that he can tell you your DNA and your design. So don't allow anyone to say that you were a mistake, or no matter the circumstances with you were birthed through. Some of us were birthed through some horrible circumstances. But guess what? You made it through so many odds for a reason. And that's all you need to worry about now, just moving forward.
Well, you know what, Danielle Jeter? I've often said to people, some people say, Stacey, you block your own blessing. I refuse to sit at the table with the devil. But obviously, if I come to your table, God got a seat.
He got
so you know what? Let the people know that's a good table they can come sit at.
Listen, come to the table. Come feast with us. Come feast with us. Because we women in media global. This table goes around the world, okay? Ooh. And we're looking to partner with people who are just as passionate and who are good, kind people, you know, and who also believe in empowering other people. It's a selfless mission.
Right. Do we have, Danielle, you spoke about your podcast. If we go to the IG or if we go to the website, will we be able to find out how to follow that?
That's a great question. Yes. So if you go to womeninmediaglobal.org, maybe I should have put that up here. Okay. Womeninmediaglobal.org is the website, and you'll be able to see the podcast there.
I'll add that.
Our YouTube channel is at WIM Global.
At WIM Global. Okay.
Yeah.
So
one word.
I need to add that. Okay, when I go. Danielle, it's been nice. No, it's been great.
It's been awesome.
Listen, my first interview for Swagher, right?
Oh, this is your first interview?
Well, not ever, Danielle.
No, I mean for Swagher. For
Swagher, right? It's my first interview. And look at God.
Look at God. This was an awesome connection. You are a great, great host. I had so much fun with you. And what made it so much more special is because you actually had an interest in me. Some people, when they do interviews, they're just doing the job, right? They're just like going through the motions of like, okay, yes, this is our guest. Okay, who, but you actually took an interest in what it is that I'm doing. That made me feel really special.
I want to know. And I told you, I saw that bio and I'm like, oh yeah. I need to see who this is. But sweetheart, please feel free to send me any information that I need to put under the post. Oh, there's Jamel. Look at there. womeninmediaglobal.org. Okay. Yep. What else do we have? Well, we'll keep that up. Email her, follow her. It's been great. I am wishing you the best. As I follow you, I am looking forward to seeing all that you and your organization and your media group continues to do to bless others, Danielle.
Absolutely. We're excited about launching our membership. And I'm going to need the help of the community. I'm going to need the help of other women in media to really help birth and push this forward. I've helped a lot of people birth their visions. Now I need you guys to help me birth this because it's going to take multiple hands to be able to really pour into a membership. And I just want to make sure that we are giving you guys something that you ultimately, definitely want. So we're going to need leaders. You know, we want to raise up different chapters in different cities. We want to see the coffee mixers and our different industry mixers go very far. And that means that we're going to have different touch points and key leaders in these markets to drive this forward. And so if this is resonating with you and you say, hey, I believe in what Women in Media has going on, we would love to connect with you and talk about how we can work together.
Okay, great people. Thank you for watching. This has been a great interview. Be sure to follow Danielle, see how you can be a part of what she's doing and you can pass blessings on to others. Thank you, Swagher, for allowing me the privilege to meet Danielle this evening. Take care of yourself, beautiful.
Thank you so much. I can't wait. Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Have a great night.
Thank you for watching. Please be sure to follow her. You know, there are times where you see people who grow and they become successful and they forget people. Rarely do you run across people that feel like part of their purpose or their passion is to not only receive the blessings themselves, but to bless others. Follow her, find out what you can do to support her in her future projects. And don't forget, check out her podcast. Until next time, I'm going to tell you what I always say on my platform. Don't stress too much about yesterday. Don't worry too much about tomorrow, because if you do, you might miss living today and miss your blessings. Have a great one, everybody.